7 simple behaviors that make you look like a high-value man. Stop trying to be someone you're not. Real high-value men aren't following trends. They're making their own. It's not about wearing designer clothes or flexing your bank account. The real secret? Subtle behaviors that immediately elevate your status, and they cost nothing. You'll be shocked how these 7 little shifts can instantly change how the world sees you. But here's the twist. These aren't the behaviors you're thinking about. They're not flashy, but they work every time. Number 1, your zero gossip policy in all conversations. Gossip, it's easy to get caught up in. Someone says something juicy about a coworker, a friend, or even a public figure, and it feels like the easiest way to bond, right? Here's the problem. It's not. Real high-value men don't engage in gossip because they understand something most people don't. Gossip is a shortcut that doesn't lead anywhere worthwhile. It doesn't make you seem interesting. It just makes you look small. When you participate in gossip, even just as a listener, you're signaling that you're comfortable being part of that low-value circle. High-value men know that their reputation is everything, and the way they manage conversations tells others a lot about who they are. A high-value man doesn't need to talk poorly about someone else to feel good about himself. Instead, he redirects the conversation to something productive, maybe a discussion about a new idea, a goal, or a challenge. So, how do you avoid gossip without coming off as rude? It's simple. The next time someone starts talking about someone behind their back, don't jump in. Instead, shift the focus to something positive or neutral. That's interesting, but have you seen that new project Joe's working on? It's impressive. Now you've avoided the drama and refocused the conversation on something that actually adds value. The benefit? You'll earn respect, not just from the person who was being talked about, but from everyone else in the conversation. People start noticing that you're the type who doesn't indulge in negativity, and your presence in the room automatically elevates the vibe. High-value men don't need to gossip to be heard. They speak through their actions and elevate the conversation. Number 2, being politely inconvenient with your time and commitments. If you're constantly available, you're not really valuable. High-value men know this. They don't make their time feel like it's up for grabs. Instead, they are politely inconvenient, meaning their time is respected because they don't just give it away on a whim. Think about it. How often have you said yes to a request because you didn't want to disappoint someone, even though you knew it would stretch you thin? High-value men don't fall into that trap. They've learned the importance of protecting their time. When you say yes to everything, you not only drain yourself, but you also send a message that your time is not valuable. People begin to see you as someone they can call on at any moment without hesitation. But here's the key. It's not about being rude. It's about being respectful of your own commitments. When you say no or ask for more time, you're showing that you have priorities, that you have your own life outside of others' demands. You create a sense of rarity and ultimately respect. Imagine being asked to take on a task you know will take hours away from your personal goals. Instead of immediately agreeing, you respond with something like, "I'd love to help, but I need to check my schedule first." That simple pause, that moment of thoughtful consideration, immediately changes how others perceive you. You've set a boundary, and in doing so, you've established yourself as someone whose time is important. So, start being politely inconvenient today. Prioritize your time and commitments. Watch as people start respecting you more and as your influence grows. Number 3, you're calm in the chaos during a minor crisis. When chaos strikes, whether it's a missed deadline, a misunderstanding, or a small disaster, how you react speaks volumes. High-value men don't panic. They're the calm in the storm, the ones who step back, take a breath, and assess the situation. In contrast, many people rush into action without thinking. They flail, react impulsively, and usually make things worse. But high-value men know that in moments of crisis, being calm and measured is the best way to regain control. Instead of getting swept up in the emotions of the moment, they pause, gather their thoughts, and focus on the solution. Imagine being at work when everything falls apart. Your project is derailed, and others are losing their heads. While everyone else scrambles, you calmly analyze the situation, calmly delegate tasks, and lead by example. Your calmness doesn't just solve the issue, it instills confidence in those around you. The result, people start relying on you in stressful situations, seeing you as someone who can handle anything that comes their way. Your ability to remain steady under pressure becomes a defining trait of your high-value persona. In a world of chaos, your calm is your strength. Number 4, the firm, dry handshake with full eye contact. A handshake is often the first impression you make in any professional or social setting. It's quick, simple, and powerful, but most people miss the opportunity to make it count. A high-value man knows that a firm, dry handshake combined with full eye contact speaks volumes about his confidence and presence. Here's the issue. Too many men either give a limp handshake or go the other extreme, squeezing too hard, trying to prove strength. Both make you come off as insecure in different ways. A weak handshake signals indifference, while an overly strong one feels like an attempt to assert dominance. High V-value men strike a balance. Their handshake is firm but not overpowering, and it's dry because a sweaty handshake, that's a red flag for nervousness. And then there's the eye contact. This is crucial. The second your handshake meets, make sure you maintain steady eye contact. Look them in the eyes long enough to show you're engaged, confident, and present. It's not about intimidating them. It's about communicating respect. The right amount of eye contact creates a subtle yet undeniable connection that makes people feel seen and heard. Imagine this scenario. You meet someone at a networking event. As they extend their hand, you grasp it with confidence, look them in the eye, and exchange a brief but powerful moment of connection. Instantly, they know you're someone who knows who they are, and that makes them want to engage further. The result? People will remember you. And in high-stakes environments, that memory is priceless. Number 5, having a default plan that is interesting and low pressure. High V-value men don't scramble to fill their calendar with random events. They have a default plan, something they can offer at a moment's notice that's interesting, engaging, and low pressure. It's not about locking people into rigid schedules or making them feel like they have to commit to something complicated. It's about creating an effortless experience that people want to join without making them feel obligated. Think about it. How often have you been asked to do something and the plan is so packed or overwhelming that you hesitate to say yes? High V-value men know this feeling all too well, which is why their plans are always flexible and easy to get into. Whether it's grabbing a coffee, hitting a local event, or taking a weekend trip, there's no pressure, just an invitation to enjoy the moment. Imagine inviting a friend to catch up, but instead of a rigid, "Let's meet at 7 p.m. for dinner," you casually suggest, "Hey, I'm thinking of heading to that new spot downtown this afternoon if you're free." This gives them space to join or decline. But it's a no-pressure option they'll likely want to say yes to. The beauty of this approach, people start viewing you as someone whose time is interesting and worth spending, and you never seem overbearing or desperate for company. It's effortless, attractive, and empowering. Number 6, the confident pause before you answer a question. The next time someone asks you a question, resist the urge to respond immediately. High V-value men know the power of the confident pause. It's not about being awkward or overthinking your answer. It's about creating space to respond thoughtfully, calmly, and with impact. Here's the thing, so many people rush to answer because they're afraid of silence or looking unsure. But this rush often leads to poorly thought out responses that lack depth or conviction. High V-value men take a moment to reflect before speaking. They don't feel the need to fill the silence with words because their words are worth waiting for. Imagine being in a meeting and someone asks you a challenging question. Instead of blurting out an answer, you take a deliberate pause. In that moment, you assess the question, collect your thoughts, and deliver a response that's clear, concise, and well-considered. The room notices. It communicates confidence and control, letting everyone know that you're not just reacting, you're responding with purpose. The advantage: you command more respect. People see you as someone who thinks before speaking, and that makes your words carry more weight. Start practicing this simple technique. Pause, think, then speak. Watch how your presence and influence grow. Number 7, your ability to be fully present without checking your phone. In today's world, it's almost impossible to go 5 minutes without checking your phone. But here's the thing. High V-value men know the value of being truly present when they're with someone. They're not distracted by constant notifications or the temptation to glance at their screen. They understand that their presence is one of the most powerful things they can offer, and they don't waste it. Most people, especially in social or professional settings, are only half there. They're physically present, but mentally, they're scrolling through emails or checking texts. When you do this, you send a clear message that the conversation or the person in front of you isn't a priority. High V-value men don't make that mistake. They give their full attention, making whoever they're with feel valued. Imagine being at dinner with friends, and while everyone is on their phone, you keep yours in your pocket. You focus entirely on the conversation, on the moment. It doesn't take long for people to notice this. They appreciate that you're not distracted. You're fully engaged, and it creates a stronger connection. Being fully present isn't just a sign of respect, it's a sign of confidence. When you can give someone your undivided attention, it shows that you value them and that you control your own distractions. Bonus point: high value is demonstrated, not declared. High V-value men don't need to announce their worth. They demonstrate it through their actions. Anyone can talk about their achievements, their status, or their wealth. But those who truly embody high value don't need to say a word about it. They let their behavior speak for itself. Think about it. The moment someone starts bragging about their accomplishments or trying to sell you on their value, it often comes off as insecurity. It's a signal that they're trying to convince you of something that should be self-evident. High V-value men, however, don't need to convince anyone of their worth. They simply are who they are, and their actions make it clear. Whether it's the way they treat others, their ability to stay composed in challenging situations, or their consistent pursuit of growth, their value is undeniable. It's seen in how they manage their relationships, how they lead by example, and how they quietly handle their business. Imagine being in a room with someone who commands respect without uttering a word. People listen to them, trust them, and admire them, not because they've announced their value, but because they've shown it in every interaction. Your actions should be a constant reflection of your worth. Never declare it, demonstrate it, and let others recognize it for themselves. If you've made it this far, you're already on the path to becoming the high-value man you aspire to be. Remember, it's not about flashy appearances or empty words. It's about the behaviors that speak volumes without ever needing to be declared. And before you go, drop a simple comment like "leveling up" to let us know you stuck with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs it. We'll see you back tomorrow with more valuable content.